In 2003, Sébastien Foucan led a small group of French freerunners on an extraordinary journey across the rooftops of London's most famous landmarks. Since then, the interest in the extreme sport of parkour, or freerunning, has exploded. This year, he's coming back to London to begin a new journey across some of the UK's biggest and most iconic locations. But this time, he'll be joined along the journey by some of the British newcomers to the sport. Together, they'll jump Britain. When parkour came to the attention of a worldwide audience, few believed it was anything more than a spectacle of men jumping from rooftop to rooftop. But the appeal of parkour was underestimated, and a movement dedicated to movement has been born in the UK.
When everyone's going down a turnstile or down some stairs, there's always the one person that's going that little bit faster, that little bit more efficient. There's people who are taking the inside route through a turning because they're trying to get to their meeting faster, or these little routes and turns. We've just elaborated on this with a bit more confidence, a bit more enthusiasm, a bit more imagination.
Central to this new sport is a philosophy that changes the way the freerunners view their towns and cities. Obstacles become a kind of urban furniture, springboards to launch off, leap from, or land on.
Everyone has their own way of moving, and some people are very fluid and elegant, while others are more explosive and dynamic. Everyone thinks differently when it comes to parkour. The different freerunners will use different techniques. They'll create different ways of moving to overcome just a simple box. You can create so much with just a rail. It's incredible.
To see people doing this without any skates on, without being on a bike, and just using their own body, it's just inspiring.
The internet was the most important thing in the whole growth of parkour. Anyone can get hold of a camera and put a 5-minute video on the internet, and that's how it grows.
At first, parkour wasn't easy to find on the internet, not least because no one was sure how to spell it. It was only a matter of time before a UK website was created.
It kind of spread outside of France very quickly throughout one year, about 2003, and Urban Freeflow was the first place for people to discuss parkour, basically.
The creation of Urban Freeflow was led by a former boxer and recent convert to the new French discipline.
I finished boxing at the age of 26 because I got married and had a kid. And I decided to get into martial arts to kind of fill a void. And I never really felt that that void was really, filled. And then I found parkour, and then it was. I found a couple of guys based in London that were doing it. We arranged to meet, and I decided to kind of try it out to see how I'd get on. And I found myself really, really enjoying it. And Urban Freeflow was pretty much born 2 days later. And the site, since February the 10th, 2003, has had over 5 million hits.
As the British scene began to organise itself, like France, teams of freerunners formed all over the country.
I got an email from Easy, and he was thinking of starting a parkour day in England where English people could train and share tips. He said, "I would like you to come along and meet us." I was really scared because my parents had convinced me that he'd be like a paedophile. They were like, "Don't meet people on the internet because, you could end up getting raped." And I didn't really know what Easy would look like. And when I saw this massive, big, bald guy, he had a really stern face, I was like, no way. But then behind him was Acid, and Acid had this adrenaline-packed grin, like he'd been doing the most awesome thing all day. And I was like, yeah, this is the future.
Kirby was raised in Surrey, in a post-war urban landscape not dissimilar to the French birthplace of parkour.
I moved here when I was 7 and we started roller skating everywhere, but the council pebbled everything over to stop us from skating. So we started playing in the parks. We'd get asked to leave the parks because we were too old. So we started climbing on everything, and it kind of encouraged us to find new ways to move. Then I remember seeing a video on the internet of Sébastien and his friends, and it was like something we'd been waiting for, something that had given us the green light to say, go, there's something that can be done with this.
But for Kirby, freerunning would prove to be more than just a physical release.
When I was about 14, 15, I had what I thought was depression. I'd been to the doctors, been to see counsellors, and you know, they couldn't really work out why I had depression. There were times when I'd been really, really upset, and then I'd find myself going out and doing parkour and forgetting who I am and forgetting every one of my problems. Becoming Kirby, I guess. Not being John anymore, not having the weight on my shoulders that John has, but being Kirby, just practicing my free run, putting videos on the internet. People know my name, people know who I am. It's given me the best group of friends I could ever hope for.
In preparation for the challenge ahead, Kirby and another member of his team are making a pilgrimage to Paris to see the suburb where freerunning was born and to train with Sébastien Foucan on his home turf.
I don't know what to expect really. It's got a lot of hype around it about the things you can do, the things that are actually there. So I'm hoping it is as good as everyone says it is. And I don't want to be disappointed when I get there, you know.
Sébastien, I think I would see him as the head ambassador of parkour. He's thought very deeply about the philosophy and the intellectual side of parkour.
His parkour's on another level, and that's because he's trained really, really hard. You know, he's put the time in, and he'll say himself, there's no secret behind parkour. It's about practice, 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 and it's just getting out there and doing it.
Lisses is the mecca of parkour, without a doubt. So all the locals have picked up the parkour skills as well, and they just practice it casually on the street. All these kids all over the place. Its architecture as well lends itself really well to learning parkour, and I can see how it sprung up there.
When we were a child here.
Yeah, I was going to jump London.
Yeah. This is here. We have a lot of things.
It's got to be done.
For practicing.
Sébastien is very important in parkour. He's kind of opened all of our eyes up to what freerunning really is, the art of movement and how it's supposed to be done. It's not about the big, spectacular jumps that you see. It's all about the small footwork, the foot placement, the hand placements. It's about the way you move.
Here, it's a famous place too. Here, yes. At the beginning, it was just this. For example, this is the first jump, and after, I'm here from there.
Really? You can do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. That is very good.
But I have a lot of things to show you over there.
Okay, yeah. Getting up that roof. How did you, that wall is massive to get up.
Yeah. Oh yes, over there, I can to show you.
Do you guys still meet up here ever?
Still meet up together?
Together to train?
Yeah, but practicing it always, the best practicing it when you are alone. But
you think
you have a lot of things, yeah. Okay. Because you need to be focused on in yourself. You can do a jump with a friend, you know, it's okay, but when you're alone, it's different. You're a little bit afraid. Yeah. And you need to find why, and you need to find the solution, and etc. This is good, yeah. This is Dame Du Lac.
Dame Du Lac.
Oh. This is Dame Du Lac. Here.
My God. This is nuts.
All right, here. Everywhere.
That must be so scary. This is mad. I can't believe it.
It's amazing, you know, for me. They find some way, they run. We don't know where, but he know, you know.
It's what I thought there'd be and more. And it made me realise how good these guys actually are and the status they have, why they're up there. Because the stuff that they do is so far beyond what, you know, we can do and things. So it's been an experience.
No?
I have so much respect for him, and he'll always do something each time that makes me respect him that little bit more. Because he'll do a massive jump and he won't turn around and go like, yeah, look what I've done. He just smiles and says, your turn, you can do it.
That's it.
Sebastian, Kirby and Blue, along with Jérôme Ben Aoues, another of the elite French freerunners, are ready to return to London. Ahead of them lies a new challenge, a parkour journey that will cover all four corners of the nation and some of the UK's most famous and iconic landmarks. Easy, Bam and many of the British freerunners will join along the way, giving them and us a view of Britain as it's never been seen before. The signature moves of parkour may be high-level, roof-to-roof spectacular jumps, but the fundamentals are learnt at ground level. Urban Freeflow hold regular PK days, where they can both practice their moves and pass on their expertise to new freerunners.
Let's go.
When we first started, it took us maybe a year or two to get hold of the basic techniques. Someone can come here in a gym day and learn them all in one day because everyone can help them.
As part of his own training, Sébastien is taking the opportunity to practice parkour with the British.
Hi. Good?
Hi. How's it going?
Okay.
Okay, I'll first demonstrate a monkey vault to a roll, which we will follow, and then we'll come to variations.
You start off with vaults because they're pretty much the simplest. The roll is to spread the shock. I mean, when you're jumping from quite a height, you're landing really hard. So when you do fall, you've got to spread it out. People find it hard because they're scared of clipping their feet. And you do see it quite a bit. People, they kind of underestimate it. But once you get over that kind of fear, you can get your feet up to the proper height and it's really easy after that.
You want to be jumping and trying to stop as steady as you can.
This move that Bam's teaching is called the precision or accuracy jump. Is basically taking off of a point and landing on a precise point, either a rail, a beam, a wall. But it's accuracy. You have to commit 100% and land perfect.
So this height is kind of forcing you to get down. It should be better. That was nice. That was really good. The thing about this balancing thing and precisions, a lot of people, I think, find them quite boring, but once you get really good balance, it just spreads to the rest of everything you do. At the moment, my favourite thing is just balancing on rails and precisioning.
Okay, basic cat leaps. Okay, we're going to do a stationary 240 takeoff here. Have your hands focused on where you're going to land, on the bar, but your feet kind of engage first, and you kind of come into a sitting down position. Okay.
Principles learnt in this environment could save lives at height.
The surface that you land on makes cat leap really difficult. There's been times where I've landed on a wall and then bricks have fallen off that I've landed on, and then I've had to move out the way so they don't fall on me. Times when I've landed on moss and algae and slipped. So it's really important to check what you're landing on first. These are mistakes that I'd learned very, very quickly when I first started parkour.
Nice.
This is the dash vault, putting your feet first, and it was actually invented, well, we first saw it in this gym. It's good for getting over low things, because you have to basically jump over the whole thing and go over it in sort of sitting position. And if it's just a railing, you've got to trust your peripheral vision and kind of hope that you get it there, otherwise you end up sitting on the floor.
Obviously, there's a lot of stuff you can do in here which you can't do outside. Obviously, because it's, you know, it's all padded everywhere. You've got a sprung floor as well. This is just to practice things you've always wanted to try.
And more important than anything here at the moment is about being confident in yourself and free in your mind, you know, really letting go. And that's the one thing you learn in the gym, is letting go.
One of the new moves the British freerunners have been thinking about has never been tried before and is too dangerous to risk anywhere but in the gym. A combination that begins as a flip and ends like a cat leap. While the UK contingent is confident, Sébastien feels differently.
Maybe you can try it.
No.
Why?
I think it's not. It's impossible.
Although difficult, the new move is clearly not impossible, and inevitably the time comes for Sébastien to step up. England 2, France 0.
This is parkour in England.
Oh my God!
Do you want to come train sometime?
Representing. Oh.
Now your legs are too bent. Start again.
See, I told you, man. I told you. Now look. This is why the repetition is very important.
Preparations are well underway for this year's challenge, taking parkour to new heights, on top of and across some of the UK's best-known landmarks and locations. Sébastien and Jérôme will begin the journey, and along the way will be joined by Easy, Bam, Kirby, and many others. The work begins where it all started. The British freerunners are out on the streets of London. The production stunt coordinator is keen to gauge the level of their abilities.
What I'm trying to find out today really is to look at them and their individual styles. Although they're all doing parkour, free running, they all have their own little way of actually assessing the jumps, the leaps. I mean, it's very impressive. They're all to very high standards. You know, they're athletes in their own right. We can't have bravado on the day. I don't want to see anybody going for anything just because the camera is there and more experienced people are there. They've got nothing to prove to each other.
As with Jump London, difficult negotiations are taking place to gain access to potential locations all over the country. But the landmarks being suggested are of a very different size and scale than anywhere that has ever been looked at for parkour before.
Je crois qu'on est un peu haut. This is one of possibilities.
But is one of the possibilities walking or running, or no?
I don't walk. I'm like this, like a cat, you know?
The Fourth Rail Bridge is just one of my favourite places. It's a beautiful structure. It's also extraordinarily dangerous. 57 people were killed when they built it. Now, the people who work there every day are extremely safety conscious. That's okay for them, but we're bringing Sébastien and a film crew up there. We're 400 feet above the sea. The consequences of us not getting it right are terrible. It's a big bridge, and it was never designed to have people clambering all over it.
Other sites being considered present a different problem. Heritage sites that are hundreds of years old and built using ancient and slippery materials with irregular surfaces. As he tours the country, Sébastien takes the opportunity to meet new freerunners and offer encouragement and advice.
Yeah, try, slowly, just slowly. Yeah.
It's really inspiring. Yeah.
He's always very willing to teach people anything. It's really nice.
Yeah, that is pretty refreshing actually.
Yeah.
You get a lot of guys who can do that kind of stuff just to say, yeah, look at me, and it's like, yeah.
And his muscles are always bigger in real life, I find.
Yeah. Yes, dear.
Not all of the locations being considered are historically iconic or ancient, but involve jumping and landing on a very unusual set of materials.
I stay here just.
He's proposing to do a jump from this steel structure, which has got a sheer drop on the far side, right back down to ground level, which I don't know, is probably got to be about 150 or more feet. Jump from here onto this glass tower, and then jump onto the other steel structure on the far side.
Sébastien! No, it's good, okay.
Birmingham's relatively new International Convention Centre offers a different setting. Acres of high-level terraced rooftops, walls and leaps galore. Parkour heaven.
It's got lots of opportunity. A precision jump, a cat leap back the other way, 180 cat, various opportunities to jump off the roof. It's looking good.
This is better than concrete. Yeah, absolutely.
Roll.
Soon, Sébastien, Jérôme and the British freerunners will be pushing their parkour skills to the limit. New heights and environments that were never imagined for freerunning, and materials, both ancient and modern, that are difficult enough to walk on, let alone jump from or land on. It's a unique celebration of some of the landscapes and structures that have shaped the UK. There are 9 locations across its 4 countries. A journey begun by 2 and ended by many.
5.3 meters. Beautiful bomb. C'est grand. Non, non, non piqué.
thought I was seeing things. Like a good cat burglar.
I was terrified. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Never. Absolutely fantastic.
Sébastien and the followers of parkour have successfully taken freerunning to new heights and extremes across the UK. Perhaps it's only this generation that could have embraced such a mix of physicality and philosophy. These are skills that look like they belong to the world of fantasy, films like The Matrix, or the impossible moves of video games. As life imitates art, so life informs art. The company that brought Lara Croft into the world is developing a free-running game. Casting the role of their new on-screen heroes was not difficult.
This is the basic skeleton we have for the character. So what you have is that skeleton and then a polygon mesh. We then texture the character, quite like the counterpart, and then we can start getting him to move around.
Here is a display of Easy, Bam and Sébastien, which is the latest versions of the characters at the moment. Obvious is the kind of height or lack of height difference in the virtual versions compared to real life. But that's something we've got to do because of the kind of nature of the game, and the whole control system means that we really need characters that are about the same height, so that when you're doing moves you're able to interact with the environment in the same way, and it's not actually dependent on your height.
You look really mean.
You do look very mean in the game.
Really, I am mean.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Looks mean anyway.
Before he heads home to France, it's Sébastien's turn to make a suburban journey. This time, he's travelled to Surrey to see Kirby on his home estate.
I didn't think that was possible.
Okay, it's possible.
Killed my playground. When I first started parkour, I thought this area was very bad. I couldn't think of anything to do.
Yeah.
Now I do parkour, I appreciate this area because I always find something new.
Yeah.
I mean, this I hadn't even considered from here to here.
Yeah.
Until one day I came over here, landed here, and I thought maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
Run. I mean, and now it's just very, very easy to do.
I don't like to teach too much. You can find the way by yourself, naturally, like when you learn to walk, you know, and you just need to have a guide to say you be careful, to say you don't do this for impress some people. Just follow your way, follow your instinct.
It's defeated me in a parkour battle. Once you do it, you see the world differently, and then once you see the world like that, you can't stop seeing it like that. So everyone will be joining in. One day, everyone who is able to do parkour will be doing parkour. At least once, everyone will give it a try.
Oh, that was a down cat. Okay, so this is it. Oh, I hurt myself. Ow. This is rather strange. So you might want to press square and drop in there. Whoa, that's extreme close up there.
It still hasn't sunk in, and I don't think it will.
I'm still not quite sure if it's real.
I think it will get to the point where you'll be in your room or something, and you'll look out the window, and you'll see a person there jumping off something. You see a person over there, and it will catch on like that because it's so easy to do. I mean, when you talk about people roller skating and stuff, they say, "Oh, that's really hard. That is. I'll never do that. I'll never do that." What's so hard about this? You put on some trainers, walk out your door. They will jump. You know, you're free running. Stand on a little wall, jump off that. You're free running. How hard can it be? So it's going to catch on. It's going to be amazing.
In a very short space of time, parkour has found its feet. From the outskirts of Paris, via the rooftops of London, to the far corners of the UK. This is a discipline that's appeal is growing by the day. But it doesn't stop there. It seems parkour is going global.
City Parkour!
I'm Liam from Switzerland.
Salon.
We're from New York City.
We are the concept of Dash from Jyväskylä, Finland.
Hi, I'm Ashton from Foucan, Singapore.
This is Parkour Japan.
Big Brother's little brother is jumping next. The celebrities nearest and dearest drop in, and guess what? Some of them are famous too. Ooh.